Welcome to Oslo!
I've made it to the capital of Norway to experience all the adventure activities I can find and one truly amazing adrenaline-fueled thrill at the end, so stick around to find out. My first activity is something I've never had the chance to do, but has been on my bucket list for a long time. This lake is completely frozen over. At about 2 kilometers long and 12 centimeters thick, this is the biggest ice ring I've ever been on. And pretty perfect as well, because if the ice is too thick, it can crack. And if it's too thin, well, I'm sure you can guess that one.
I have to say, I've done a lot of things in my life in different places, but this is by far one of the most unique, the most incredible. I feel very lucky to be here.
After some time skating around on the empty lake, we headed over to the campfire for some snacks and warm drinks, taking it all in and feeling incredibly lucky to be in this surreal place. Wild Oslo is the company that ran this. I'll leave their link in the description below. You should definitely check them out. But there's something that's even higher on my bucket list that I was able to tick off whilst I was over here, and that's climbing up frozen waterfalls. I have always seen this as something I would do one day, but never put it into action, until now. Run by the old school hostel in Rjukan and about 4 hours west of Oslo. I've actually made a whole video about this course, detailing how it all works, which I will link below and at the end of this video. But the gist of it all is this: the 3-day course has you arrive on the Friday and climb over Saturday and Sunday, staying at the old school hostel and provided with all the essential gear. The instructors will take on any level of experience and have you climbing some gorgeous frozen waterfalls. I had a great time here, and I'm sure you will too. Heading back to the city now, there was no chance I would pass up one of Norway's favourite pastimes. Oslo Ski Centre is about an hour away from town using public transport and is open every day. By the way, I recommend downloading the Router app before you get here. It would allow you to use the public transport, which is very well connected. You'll also be able to hop onto these scooters, though you need your phone number to register, so best do it at home. Anyway, back to the slopes.
It is currently 20 past 4. You can see how pitch black it is almost. And it's just, this place is open until 10 o'clock. And I'm skiing down a slope pretty much at night time. This is definitely a new experience for me. But it's pretty fun. I like this.
And don't worry if you've never skied before. There are numerous schools here that will get you braving those slopes in no time.
To my surprise, there's almost nobody here. The slope's pretty much empty. It's awesome.
Skiing is one of the oldest ways to get around in the north, now a favourite activity for millions of people. But when I got here, I was actually surprised it wasn't busier. It was only later that I realised the reason why. Growing up in Greece, the slopes were only open during the daytime, but due to the polar night bringing in the dark so early, it was the evening anyway, so people ski as an after work thing, which is why it got busier after 5.
I haven't skied in a while. I forgot how much I enjoy it. More of a snowboarder, but this is pretty fun. I'm really enjoying this.
But the mountains aren't the only way to enjoy these slopes in Oslo. This is Snow, Norway's only indoor ski resort, and it's so big it even offers a cross-country ski track and an ice climbing wall too. For a 2-hour pass and equipment hire, it cost me €75, and from top to bottom it took me about 1 minute to descend going at speed. And of course there's always the option to mess around on the snowpark, dusting off the cobwebs after 12 months of inactivity on the slopes. Now, keeping with the indoor theme, in my research I stumbled across a place I just couldn't pass up.
Parkour, 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 parkour.
This is Oslo Parkour, a fun little parkour gym on the outskirts of town. Now parkour is one of my favourite activities, turning every obstacle into a fun challenge to overcome and installing a sense of freedom that I get from no other sport. And you also get to see some crazy superhuman stunts like this one too. That was a lot of fun, and definitely worth hauling my trainers all over Norway. Oslo has a lot to see all around town, lots of history and beautiful sights. And one way to see it is by hopping aboard an old ship and seeing it from the waters that made this city what it is. For this next activity, we had to catch a train for about 2 hours out of the city to the Winter Olympic Park in the little town of Lillehammer, a place that offers you the chance to be an Olympic athlete, or at least sample what they experience. And amongst those disciplines is this, taxi bob, known as bobsled. You travel at 120 kilometers an hour down a 1,700 meter ice track and experiencing forces up to 5 Gs as you shoot past the corners. And luckily, it wasn't up to either of us to pilot this crazy thing. Pro was taking that responsibility, though I did secretly want to.
That was ridiculous. That was really fun.
But this wasn't the end. You need a minimum of 2 people or more for these activities, and we got very lucky. Someone showed up alone and they needed us to make up the wait. So we hopped onto another ride for free called Bob Rafting, a foam box of a sled. This version goes a little bit slower and the G-forces aren't as intense, but it was arguably just as fun as you're not pinned down as much and can take in the corners a bit more.
Wow, that was incredible. The G-forces were just intense. There were times where I couldn't lift my helmet just because when you were going into the corners you just slammed with all of that G-force. It was so good, and we weren't expecting the other one either. What an incredible experience. We're quite far away from Oslo, but worth the trip, I think. So good, so fast.
Now it was back to the city for our final and slightly painful experience of the trip. Located in the Oslo Marina, these floating saunas provide the platform for one crazy whiplash in temperatures. Running at 80 degrees Celsius on top of water that is just 3, I can't believe I was talked into doing this.
Oh, that's so cold. Why the hell am I doing this? Okay, oh, that's so cold. Okay, I hope you like this video. If you did, please like and subscribe and tell a friend. It really helps. God, this is cold. I'm getting out of here.
This marks the end of my Norway adventure, but if you missed my other 2 videos then you can check those out here.